Alright, so I got these shoes I'm trying to clean. These are Vans half cabs. These are 92 skate model, so they're the original paneling, and they're all suede. I don't usually do very well with light colored shoes. Uh, they're kind of grimy, even though I haven't really worn them that much. But I like how they look, and I'm not ready to start skating them yet. So I picked up some suede nubuck cleaner the other day, and I'm gonna see if that helps clean them up a little bit. I got a couple spots here and there. This one right there under the laces, and they're kind of grimy around the back. So not a super big deal if they don't really come clean. I'll just end up skating them anyway, which I'm gonna end up skating them anyway. But they're a nice looking shoe and they're comfortable. So usually shoes that I actually like the look of, I'll just wear them casual wear until they start to get kind of grimy, and then I don't really care if they get shredded. But I've already got a couple pairs of shoes that I'm skating, so I'm not trying to like shred these yet. Um, and I'm kind of curious as to how well that stuff works. So we're gonna give it a shot. I often look out for sales and deals and clearances, just in general, but especially when it comes to shoes and especially when it comes to skate shoes. Um, I guess ever since like the mid '90s when I started skating a lot, um, skateboarding is so rough on shoes. If I could get some for cheap, that would certainly be preferable. But a lot of times it was like the loud, goofy, less desirable colorways that would end up not selling and going on clearance. And I don't really care what they look like because they're just going to get destroyed anyway. So a lot of times they would be loud, goofy, undesirable colors. But uh, lately I've been finding pretty good stuff for pretty cheap. Even stuff that I would choose color wise. Um, Probably average about like maybe like 35 pair over the last like 15 or so pairs. Some more like 20 and some of them more like 50. It all works out in the end, I guess. But yeah, I usually try to avoid light colors when I can. But these were actually, I got these buy one get one free with a pair of wavies. Not the ones I have on my feet, but ones exactly like the ones that I have on my feet right now. I got both these half cabs and wavies just like this from the Vans store down the beach. They were buy one get one, so they cost me 30 each or 60 total. Um, but kind of hit or miss what they have in stock. So I was kind of surprised to find. I found the half cabs first. So I was looking for another pair that was like, one of the skate rated ones because they had a lot of casual Vans as well. Um, and this was a couple years ago that I got them. So I got the half cabs in for, I'm an 11 and a half, so there's only so many different pairs available in my size. I was thinking about getting some skate highs, which at the time I never had, but I think they might have only had them in 12s, and the difference between 11 and a halfs and 12s and Vans is quite a bit. So it's like it fits pretty much around your foot the same way, but then it's like an extra like half inch or 3/4 of an inch too long, and that wasn't going to work. I think I might have tried the Kyle Walkers, whichever ones are the ones with the Velcro strap, and I didn't really care for them. And the Wavies I liked because they were black on black, so they would be like a decent like casual wear shoe. So I didn't even get them to skate in. And I never did skate in them. Maybe just a few times, but I wore them as a casual shoe until the soles wore pretty much through. I still have them. They're like I just knocking around or cutting grass shoes or whatever. They still look decent enough, but the sole actually split, and they might be able to repair it, but I haven't really needed to. But I have had decent success with repairing soles on shoes that I'm skating, so I don't see why I couldn't repair soles on shoes that I'm not skating. So maybe I'll give that a try. I already did try it once, but it didn't work out so well because I used whatever the Gorilla Glue equivalent of shoe glue, and it didn't work as well as shoe glue. And plus, when I use shoe glue for soles, it seems like it works better when it's when it's been open for a while and starting to dry out a little bit, like not a brand new tube, because it dries harder, and if it doesn't dry hard, it has a tendency to peel up from the edges. So I don't know. We'll see. It's not like super urgent or anything, but the ones that I have on my feet right now, I found an identical pair to the ones that I had that I liked on one of the resale sites. I want to say it was either I think Poshmark or Mercari. I don't know. I'd have to check, but one of the resale sites, and they were like brand new. So I got them for $30 too, which is what I paid for the last ones. But these only came with the yellow laces, not the black ones. And they're growing on me a bit, but I think I prefer them with black laces. So when I picked up that suede nubuck cleaner, I picked up some. I think I got some black laces and some like light gray laces, like the flat ovals like they came with. But I got 48-inch, and I don't know exactly what length the ones that are in there are. I think that sounds probably about right, but I'd like to get a pair for my Emerica OG1, the Mark Johnson reissues, but they're like 60. I think they're like 68 inches or something like that. They're really long for a shoelace, longer than I would have guessed. But I think all they had there was 48s and 54s, and those are like the most standard sizes, I guess. But yeah, I guess we'll give this a go. That's not even a spot on the toe. That's alright, I'll just clean the whole thing. Yeah, I don't know. Seems like he got the spot out of the toe, but it just kind of made him look a little bit darker all over. I guess we'll see it once they dry. Yeah, they they just opened up an Ollie's near here, maybe about 10 minutes. The other one's probably about maybe 20 minutes. But I went in there Sunday and it was really really busy because I don't think it was the first weekend they opened, but they've not been open more than like a week. So all the staff's new, and it was just really busy because it was a Sunday, and I guess people were just excited to be there for the opening or whatever. But I got some pretty cool stuff. They had some cool stuff back in the clothing section. I got a nice T-shirt for like $2. I got some sweatpants for like $5. They had these mixed packs of Marvel and DC and other publisher comics for I think $6 a pack. And I got two of them. I thought I got three of them, but the ones that I had seen the first time I went in weren't there when I went back to get them. So um, and it was so busy, so I didn't want to be there digging through stuff. I posted a short of the ones that I got, but there was like more cool stuff there. They've always got cool books. They've got all kinds of stuff there. It's like they buy like overstock and close out and stuff that didn't sell, uh, and resell it for cheaper. So all kinds of random stuff. They got food stuff, coffee, spices, nuts. Uh, kind of like similar idea to like a TJ Maxx or Marshalls or Ross or something like that, but not really so much like the shoes and clothes. I mean, they've got a little bit of clothes, but they got more like houseware stuff and food and uh, maybe more like a home goods. Uh, they got like a tool section. They got all kinds of stuff there, but I mean, it's cool just to go look around, see what they have. Yeah, I got some spiced peanuts that I often get from Tractor Supply. It's the same brand. I think they might have been $1 cheaper, maybe. Might have been the same price. I don't really know. But yeah, the comic books were pretty cool. Um, got a lot of stuff from like late '80s, early '90s, which is the stuff that got me into comic books in the first place. And I'm more like a casual fan, I guess. Um, when I was little, in the early '90s, I was looking at my friend's dad's collection, and it was stuff that was probably like '70s, '80s to current, which would have been like the early '90s. So mostly Marvel. It's kind of what I was into, and then I kind of like lost interest when they switched to like the glossy paper. I don't know when that was, probably late '90s into the early 2000s. Like I like the old pulp paper newsprint, kind of janky looking printing of the old comics. I don't know. It's just something about it that's I find more interesting and appealing. When they switched to the slick paper, it was kind of more flash than substance. And that's not always true. Like one of the ones I got was a Spawn and Batman. Uh, I don't know. I don't remember seeing what the date was that it originally came out, but um, that one was actually pretty good, even with the slick paper. Like I wasn't really familiar with that run of stories or whatever, and I just got whichever random one that I got. So I just picked it up as a one-off, and still pretty engaging and captivating story. So I thought that was cool. Not that I was really surprised. Well, a little bit, because like I'm not really like that big into Batman, and my buddy was like big into Spawn and Image Comics back in the probably late '90s, early 2000s. So I'm familiar enough with it, I guess, to know that it was pretty cool. So again, more of a casual fan. I appreciate the artwork. I appreciate, you know, well written characters and stories in general, not specific only to comic books. But it's nice when a piece of media can draw you in like that. I'd say lately, especially, I had a bit more interest in like anime and manga because they tend to be more compelling characters and more interesting stories and like um, less tame subject matter, I guess, as far as like violence and I don't know some of the Western comics and like the especially the older ones. I guess there's more like regulations as far as what they were able to do, which I guess loosened up over the years, but still there's like I guess a hesitance to I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. um, I guess in the same way that media and content tend to soften the edges for the sake of the wishes of the advertisers, I guess. So, uh, which I think is kind of lame, to be honest. But what are you gonna do? So yeah, it seems like it got the spot off the toe anyway, which is I guess what I was most concerned about. And then the kind of dinginess around like the heel and ankle. It's still a little bit darker, but it's still a little bit wet. So I guess we'll see what they turn out like once they dry. But I'm not displeased with it. Seems like an improvement overall. Yeah, I made this chickpea and oatmeal curry for dinner. Posted a short of it. Something I made periodically, but not so much lately. Uh, Start with a base of old fashioned oats and steel cut oats and big can of chickpeas and usual curry spices, bay leaves, turmeric, curry powder, cumin, coriander seed. Put some mustard in there, ground mustard. Um, what had me thinking about doing it was first of all, I have several bunches of cilantro in the fridge, which is not at all uncommon, but it was starting to pile up because I think I went to the produce market and got more when I still had some in the fridge. So I ended up with like 9 bunches of cilantro, which is not like as crazy as it sounds because I go through it pretty quickly. I mean, I have it like almost every day in almost everything that I eat for probably the past like year at least. Um, but yeah, it was starting to wilt a little bit, and I didn't want it to let it go to waste, so I cleaned off like the more degraded bits, and actually put a whole entire bunch into that curry, and there was like a probably like 2/3 of a block of tofu my sister left when she had been visiting for a few days, and she just left the other day, but she left it here, so didn't want that to go to waste either. I put that in there. Uh, Grated ginger, minced garlic. Found some wild onion down the street. Put some of that in there. Bay leaves, if I didn't say that already. And I had some reserved tomato liquid from sardines. Um, Did some sardine salad the other day with some sardines and tomato sauce, but I don't really use the tomato sauce in the sardine salad, but it does have quite a bit of flavor. So I usually set it aside in the fridge and use it in whatever I think it will go good in. And I've used it in uh, my curry before, so I thought that would be a good use for it. Get rid of it. So I actually didn't use any water on the to cook the oatmeal in. I just used the liquid I drained out of the chickpeas and the reserved tomato liquid from the sardines, and I added a little bit of beer while I was cooking it, and grated carrot, grated ginger, if I didn't say that already, stewed tomatoes. So definite curry flavors, but it also had a bit of like a vaguely reminiscent of like a Maryland crab soup, but more the texture of stew. So just a faint flavor of the sardines to come through it, but man, it was good. Oh, and I put chopped steamed cabbage in it. So really just winging it, freestyling it like I often do. Just see what I have, what'll work well in it, and what I could use before it goes to waste. So yeah, I was really happy with how it turned out. Still have some left. My mom liked it a lot too. Um, but yeah, rather than make like a separate curry and serve it over rice, I just make it with the oatmeal in it. So the oatmeal takes the place of like what a rice would. It's um, a little bit less carbs and a little bit less harsh on blood sugar, which is more of a concern for my mom than me. But I mean, it's always a good idea to be mindful of carbs and whatnot. But I do really like rice, but you just can't eat it all the time. But yeah, I guess that's about it. Um, I see you got somebody in here, so appreciate you stopping by. I guess I did what I set out to do. I guess I'll see how these turn out once they dry. But yeah, appreciate you stopping by. If not, I'll catch you next time. Have a good one.